This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. Join us on Facebook, YouTube and online radio.
And so I'd like to say welcome to a fresh edition of the program, The Bottom Line Liberia, on this 7th day of June 2024. My name is Linford Egon Gue. I'm going to be here tonight. Probably I'll be joined by the rest of the guys, or if not, then I will be a lone troubadour. I will be a lone soldier here. And I'm capable of doing that. And that I know I can do. But tonight we're going to be looking at some very interesting topics. And that will have to deal with the whole of Africa. You know, we normally we do Liberian politics. And we know exactly what is unfolding in Liberia. But look at our larger picture, because Liberia is a country in West Africa. It's one, in West Africa and also in Africa. And so we're going to be looking at our larger picture of how Africa can survive. Can Africa survive? And why is it that Africa has always been behind and all of the countries in Africa, that is. And we know that we are blessed. Okay, they say Africa is blessed. But then we are behind. We are the only ones behind. So if you're joining us tonight for the first time via Jala TV from Liberia, we'd like to say welcome. This is the Bottom Line Liberia, and this is where we discuss the issues. We give our own analysis. We may not be right. We're not wrong either. And so we'd like to say welcome, and you will be a chance to give your comments. You can give your comments. We can read your comments. You can ask questions. If we're able, we can answer it. We do not have the answer for all the questions, but we do our best to discuss the issue. And we want you to be a part of us. And again, my name is Linford Goa, or I'll be here until the rest of the guys can join me. And the first thing we'll be doing is we'll be looking at our newspaper reviews. So we'll be looking at one or two stories in the newspapers, and then we'll discuss that. But we'll be right back before we do that.
You are watching the review of Liberian newspapers' headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Okay, so welcome back, and we will be doing review of the Liberian newspapers. Some of them, not all of them. Or tonight we have one major story that we'd like to be looking at in the front page Africa. And we'll tie it into other things or into our main discussions tonight. So this story, we're not going to read the entire story. We're not going to even read the story. What we're going to do is we're going to show you pictures, and then we'll be talking about the picture. Okay. So let's see if we can bring this on the screen. In this picture on the screen, you see the Chinese ambassador, that is mainland China, right? The Chinese ambassador to Liberia. The guy's name is difficult. I'll not even attempt it. And our Internal Affairs Minister, Numalin, Sakilas Numalin. They're meeting, they're having talks about the two countries. I'll make it very simple. Internal Affairs Minister Sakilas Newman and the Chinese ambassador to Liberia are meeting. In fact, the Internal Affairs Minister, hosted. That means this Chinese ambassador was visiting him in his office. And you see the two men, they're looking right into each other's eyes and talking. And I want to give them credit, especially our Liberian Internal Affairs Minister. Normally, if you're having talks with these diplomats, the best thing to do is to look at them straight in the face. And that tells them that body language is very important in diplomacy. It tells them that you are candid or you are very stern on what you discuss with them. So I guess both men are talking and they are discussing Liberia. And what caught my eye about this story is that our Internal Affairs Minister is recommitting or renewing Liberia's commitment to one China policy. And I guess a lot of you know what the Chinese policy in Liberia is. You can choose to have a particular government in Liberia can choose to have one China policy, that is, you deal with one of the Chinese countries. You got mainland China and Taiwan. And mainland China and Taiwan, they have their own internal problems. They have diplomatic problems. They have political problems. They have economic problems that they've been living with for years. Mainland wants to control Taiwan. Taiwan says, no, we are country by ourselves. You can't make it. Tell one of the territories that became counties in Liberia, let's say Makivi County, right? It used to be Makivi territory. So it used to be under Monserrado County, it was under Monserrado County, or it was a territory right there. So Monserrado said, no, we still want to control you. And Makivi said, no, we cannot. We are county by ourselves. So mainland and Taiwan, to exist in one particular country at the same time is always a problem, like Liberia. So, Liberia has been caught between the scissors, the blade of the scissors. Liberia has been like, okay, should we, because both countries, Taiwan, and I'm giving my personal analysis. So this is not facts that is written on a book or facts that are written on a book. This is just my personal analysis from what I know, working in the media for years. Okay, so if you have any contribution, you can make it. But I'm looking at this story from this angle, that Liberia has always been between the blade of the scissor. It's like you put your finger between the blade of the scissor, and when you press it, you're going to cut your finger. Somehow, you're going to either hurt yourself or cut your finger. So Liberia is always between that. And every government that comes to power in Liberia, we saw it from the Turbo era, coming to the Doe era, then it came after the war, Taylor tried, and then, from the successive governments have been having this problem. That is, should we lean on the side of mainland China that has been helping with several things, ranging from scholarship to giving physical cash and undertaking projects, or should we lean on the side of Taiwan, who has also been doing some projects in Liberia, some of which we'll talk about? Or should we have the two Chinas existing at the same time, which is not possible? It's like a young girl in the town, right? And few guys, and all the guys come in. Okay, let me get limited to two guys. Two guys love you. Okay, and the two of them are willing to do for you what you want. But is it possible to have two boyfriends at the same time, especially when these guys do not coexist, when these guys do not agree? They'll be jealous of each other. Okay, but then you, the girl, since you want help from these two guys, you say, but the one want to buy me a car, and the other one wants to build me a house, the other one wants to do this for my parents, and so to whom should I go? Or should I have the two of them at the same time? Or should I take one? So Liberia has always been between that decision. It's not easy, right? It's not easy, especially for a country like Liberia that needs help. A country like Liberia that will always want, somebody to come and help them. So we've been the one, should I say the victim, or we've been the one to make a decision. But again, like I say, every decision has consequence. So if you decide to say, okay, I'll let one of the channels go, I'll let Taiwan go, then you'll be left with mainland. But then again, remember that Taiwan has had some projects, or in fact, they got some ongoing projects in Liberia. So you just let them go like that. How does it feel? Again, we come back to the analysis or the analogy of the girl having two guys quoting her at the same time. It's okay, the guy who wants to buy a house for me or build a house for me, should I let him go since the other guy wants to buy many cars for me, in fact, latest cars, and then he wants to, do a lot of things for my parents? Should I let him stay and I let the guy who just want to buy a house go? But then again, remember that this guy that you want to let go is already helping your people. So it's a difficult decision, I understand, on the part of Liberia. Okay, so eventually what happens is that each government that comes to power in Liberia will have to live with this and struggle with it, which is not easy. It's not an easy decision to make, I will tell you that. So like I was just giving an example of a girl, right? It's difficult. You know the two people, you know that potential, you know that they're willing to help you, but which one can you let go? Just because you want to keep the other one. And then so you will be left to make that difficult decision. So our Internal Affairs Minister has recommitted to work with China so that mainland and Taiwan will not exist in any country at the same time. At least it will not be easy. They could, but it will not be easy. They can go back to the two guys who knew about each other, quoting one girl. Okay, and they got, and this girl is saying, well, I will take one of you. So it means that the other guy will have to automatically go with all the good intentions he had. Even if you're doing some projects for this girl, you have to go, abandon it or go. So, like I said, it's always been a problem. Now, let's look at some of the projects that Taiwan has in Liberia. Okay. Or some of the projects that China has in Liberia. Now, you see, you have the Liberia, the China Liberia Agricultural Technology Center somewhere in Bon County. And this project is carried out by the Chinese. And then Taiwan has also had some projects, for instance, the ministerial complex in Liberia now that the government is using. All the projects are physical evidence of what both countries can do. So that if you want to abandon one of them, it's a tough decision. But again, we don't know how far the discussions between these two gentlemen went. We don't know what are the package or what we have in the package, from the Chinese government, that the President Bouakai administration, through the Internal Affairs Minister, is recommitting Liberia to one China policy. I think if I was to give my own impression or my own suggestions, I would say let Liberia keep the two China policy. It's like, yeah, this girl, you are the one. So you can cut a card. But then if you're cutting a card, you should know that you'll be benefiting from the portion of the card that will be left with you. So you tell one of the Chinese to go, one group of the Chinese to go, fine. Ask yourself, am I going to get all of what I want from the one China that I will take? So I would have thought I will play my let me play the other with my Hopojo game, the real Liberian way, right? So that I can keep the two of them. Maybe they say 3 more cannot lay down one side. So I will turn to the one with touch sweeter. I also always put to the one with touch sweeter. Just because I want something. And this is the kind of country Liberia is. Okay. So like I said, it's a difficult decision. I'm sorry, the rest of my colleagues are not here to hear that side, because I know some of them are, totally disagree and say, no, listen, let's take one side. Okay, like Minister Numali is doing. say, let's take one side. Or somebody will say, or somebody would agree with me and say, okay, we take the two sides and play our game. See, looking at the benefits. So this story is from the Daily Observer newspaper, or the front page African newspaper. So I am just giving my own analysis that Liberia has always been between the blades of the seesaw when it comes to the Chinese policy, because, you know, like I said, it's difficult for the two countries to just exist in one particular country at the same time, giving that support. You see, they will always, that friction will be there because they will be demanding. The other one will say, okay, if you want us to stay with you, or you got to let the other person go. Yeah, and which is understandable. I know if I'm competing with a guy for a girl, I will you know, competing with a guy, I will let the girl know, you know what, you either take that guy or you take me. And that's the only way I'll be able to do this for you. So I understand the position of Minister Nomali, though it's a tough decision to make because you will be letting go somebody who is also willing to help you. And in fact has been helping you. So that's what I think. But again, people will have different view from that. Okay, so that was from the front page Africa. Now, going to our main story tonight will be playing you a video. And this video that we'll play is about Africa, how rich Africa is. First, how large Africa is, how rich Africa is, and what the outside world wants from Africa or is getting from Africa. And if all of these qualities apply to Africa, all the qualities apply to Africa, then why is it that Africa is always considered a poor country? Or why is it that Africa cannot get rich from what we have that other people are getting from us and getting rich? Why is it? Is it so? Is our blessing or our natural resources blessings, or are they curses on us? So we'll be looking at that. But just before we go to that, I want us to I want us to go to something that, okay, no, I think I will go to the video first. I will go to the video first. The reason I try to hold the video on is because I wanted to see if any of my friends will be joining me. But let me remove. I'll play the video. Maybe while we're playing the video, my colleagues, one of them might join me. So, and like I said again, this video is not done by us. It's not done by the Bottom Line Liberia. It's done by a gentleman who has an organization that he calls what is it called? Africa. Okay, so I will play the video, and then you will listen to the video for yourself, and then you will analyze. You will ask yourself the same question I was asking. If indeed Africa is rich, Africa has all of these things, why is it that Africa, Liberia, in Africa, we stay poor, or we struggling? Why? I don't understand that. You got food in your home, you got huge fun, you got everything you need, but you're hungry. What's going on? So let's play this video and see for ourselves what the problem is.
Significant Africa. But is that really true? Now, here are the facts. Africa has a total area space larger than all of Europe, China, and the United States of America combined. Yes, it is 3 times the area of China, 3 times the area of Europe, 3 times the area of United States of America. Meaning, You can transplant China, Europe, and United States, and several other countries on the Africa continent, and they will fit neatly. Africa is 30.5 million square kilometers and a youthful population of 1.3 billion inhabitants. China is 9.6 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. India has a total space of 3.3 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. Now, yet, Africa is projected as overpopulated, and pressure mounts on Africans and their leaders to depopulate. Why? Why? Now, please note, Africa is home to 60% of the world's arable land, 90% of raw material reserve, 40% of gold reserve, 33% of diamond reserve, 95% of platinum reserve, and holds the largest bauxite reserves in the world. Of course, in addition to manganese, woods, uranium, crude oil, and others. Yet, the continent is touted as the poverty capital of the world and ripe for depopulation. The question is, why? Well, President Jacques Chirac of France provides an illuminating insight. He said, "We bled Africa for 4.5 centuries. We looted their raw materials. Then we told lies that the Africans are good for nothing. In the name of religion, we destroyed their culture. And after being made rich at their expense, we now steal their brains through miseducation and propaganda to prevent them from enacting black retribution against us," unquote. Well, put simply, for over 4 centuries, Africa is not in control of its resources. Look, a 2016 study of Africa by the NGO called War on Want reveals that 101 companies, mostly British, control $305 billion worth of platinum, $276 billion worth of oil, and $216 billion worth of coal at 2016 market prices. Yes, they own mines or mineral licenses in 37 African countries and control vast swaths of Africa's land, 4 times the size of the United Kingdom. Now look, Africa subsidizes the rest of the world by $32 billion annually. A 2017 report by Global Justice Now and other groups estimates that $161.6 billion enter into Africa, while $202.9 billion leave Africa almost every year. For example, in 2017, Africa received a total of $19.7 billion in aid. They paid back $18 billion in debt repayments. Debt burden is killing Africa. African governments have borrowed between 25 and 75% of their GDP, but with little or nothing to show for it. Africans in the diasporas remit not less than $32 billion annually, but multinational companies siphon $32.4 billion in profits and illicit financial outflows. Look, an estimated $29 billion are stolen via illegal logging, fishing, and poaching annually. How can any continent, country, or people accumulate and sustain wealth, growth, and prosperity with such statistics? That's a great question. Well, look, hopefully, now you know your Africa better. Edmund Mbiaka once wrote, "Peace of mind always comes with knowing who you truly are, where you currently stand, where you positively need to be, and strongly believing in its possibility." Africa needs to control its resources, no doubt. For productive, patriotic, and effective leadership, we need our best and ablest citizens with fortified character in local, state, and federal governments. This must be given utmost consideration in upcoming elections across Africa. Let me say it once more. Our problem is not the age of our leaders, but unfortified character. It is your responsibility to protect and defend your Africa. The starting point is to educate and transform the mindset of our leaders and peoples. Look, the least you can do is to assist with ensuring that this message reaches every African. Slavery destroyed us. Religion divided us. Ignorance controls us. And truth scares us. With these retrogressive forces, Africa will remain a dark continent. So we must renew our minds. Please share this video in
I'm sorry that my microphone was muted. I'm really, really sorry. Like I'm really sorry. I don't know how it happened, but it was muted. But I'm telling you that we may visit this video one more time during the course of a program. We may visit the video. I will play that video one more time, and there's a reason why I will play the video, because this gentleman, and credit to him for his video, he made some salient point, and he tried to educate us Africans. If you watch the video, sorry, if you get joining us, I'll play that video again one more time during the course of the program so you can listen to it. But let me lay some premise here. This gentleman is telling us that slavery, which we all know, destroyed us. Slavery took away our dignities. Imagine you being a man, African man at that rate. You know how we Africans live, right? That you got your family, you oversee your family, you know, in the evening, you and your children, your wife, everybody gather together. And then all of a sudden, you see yourself living on somebody's farm The person decides when you eat. They decide when you go out. And he decides where you go, how you sleep, when you sleep. And like I said, my microphone was muted, so you didn't hear some of what I said. So I'll just go back. I watch a lot of documentaries when it comes to slavery, okay? And you will see that in some of those documentaries, they have things like some iron helmet that they put on your head and lock it, okay? So you cannot talk. You cannot eat. You're working on a farm. Remember, you're doing some hard labor job, but you can't eat, you can't talk, nothing. Even if you want to drink, you cannot drink. So slavery took away the dignities of our people. Then, after the slavery, when they knew that they could not buy slaves, they could not, do the slavery again, then the next thing they did was they brought religion, which was an intelligent form of slavery. And in some instances, they will tell you that you have to accept what we bring into you, or if you can't accept it, you might die. We will do it our way. Okay? So, religion was the next form of slavery. The king and brainwashed us. Where even in some part of the Bible that we as Christians read, they will tell you, in everything give thanks. Okay? And the real interpretation there is that whether you suffer or you are a slave or whatever you are, you should give thanks. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning you as a slave. So I'll go back to that video one more time. And the reason I'll go back to the video is so we can listen to it and hear for ourselves, for those of you that joining us, then we'll analyze it together. Okay? So we'll go back to that video and let's see what's in that video.
Insignificant Africa. But is that really true? Now, here are the facts. Africa has a total area space larger than all of Europe, China, and the United States of America combined. Yes, it is 3 times the area of China, 3 times the area of Europe, 3 times the area of United States of America, meaning you can transplant China, Europe, and United States, and several other countries on the Africa continent, and they will fit neatly. Africa is 30.5 million square kilometers and a youthful population of 1.3 billion inhabitants. China is 9.6 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. India has a total space of 3.3 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. Now, yet, Africa is projected as overpopulated, and pressure mounts on Africans and their leaders to depopulate. Why? Why? Now, please note, Africa is home to 60% of the world's arable land, 90% of raw material reserve, 40% of gold reserve, 33% of diamond reserve, 95% of platinum reserve, and holds the largest bauxite reserves in the world. Of course, in addition to manganese, woods, uranium, crude oil, and others. Yet, the continent is touted as the poverty capital of the world and ripe for depopulation. The question is, why? Well, President Jacques Chirac of France provides an illuminating insight. He said, "We bled Africa for 4.5 centuries. We looted their raw materials. Then we told lies that the Africans are good for nothing. In the name of religion, we destroyed their culture. And after being made rich at their expense, we now steal their brains through miseducation and propaganda to prevent them from enacting black retribution against us," unquote. Well, put simply, for over 4 centuries, Africa is not in control of its resources. Look, a 2016 study of Africa by the NGO called War on Want reveals that 101 companies, mostly British, control $305 billion worth of platinum,
I think what we'll do here is we'll pause the video and we'll come in. Now, if Great Britain alone is controlling this amount of platinum in Africa, imagine what France has been taking. Imagine what Portugal has been taking. Imagine what Belgium have been taking. Because Belgium, they have the diamond capital of the world, Antwerp, where all the diamonds go to be processed. Then imagine what the United States have been taking from Africa, all the major countries. Then imagine what on a larger scale now, but on a smaller scale, where you got these small companies coming. For example, in Liberia, you got something like Group Metal Steel, which is now representing Great Britain, or even though the owner is in Great Britain. Then you got all these small groups coming. Imagine what has been taken from Africa. Just imagine. So let's go back to the video again.
$276 billion worth of oil and $216 billion worth of coal at 2016 market prices. Yes, they own mines or mineral licenses in 37 African countries and control vast swath of Africa's land, 4 times the size of the United Kingdom.
Did you just listen to that? So can you imagine if Africa was in control of its own resources? What do you think Africa would have been now? So let's go back to the video. We'll be cutting it small so you can listen to it very well. Okay, let's go back.
Now look, Africa subsidizes the rest of the world by $32 billion annually. A 2017 report by Global Justice Now and other groups estimates that $161.6 billion enter into Africa, while $202.9 billion leave Africa almost every year. For example, in 2017, Africa received a total of $19.7 billion in aid. They paid back $18 billion in debt repayments. Debt burden is killing Africa. African governments have borrowed between 25 and 75% of their GDP, but with little or nothing to show for it. Africans in the diasporas remit not less than $32 billion annually, but multinational companies siphon $32.4 billion in profits and illicit financial outflows. Look, an estimated $29 billion are stolen via illegal logging, fishing, and poaching annually.
Did you listen to that? Illegal logging, fishing, and poaching. Now, poaching, if you don't understand, is like people who, like elephants, there are certain things that are rare, certain things that you can't find other places. So people will smuggle. It's just the other word for smuggling. You smuggle an elephant tusk. It's very important. The arrow, okay. Then you got all the other things that people are not supposed to take illegally. So they come and push it, and not push but poach. Okay. So Africa is suffering. Once you were slaves, then at one point they said they free you. Then they said, okay, since we have freed these people, they will be getting too smart because we're teaching them anyway. They are going to our regular schools. They are learning like our children are doing. So they'll be too smart. So say no more violent slavery. Let's go and miseducate them and brainwash them. And there's a huge education campaign among Africans, especially in the diaspora. Children that are born in the diaspora, they miseducate them. Go back to America. I will share a short story with you from America. I was on a train traveling from Houston to Florida. That's a 2-3 days journey with some ugly train. And on the train, everything is so expensive. The regular Coke you can get it, the regular can of Coke you can get it at that time. That was 2005, 2006. At that time, you can get it for like maybe 50 cents. But on the train, it costs almost $2 something. frustrated on the train because of the short distance we should take in the air. It would take about less than 1 hour. You in from Houston, you in Florida, Jacksonville. I was going, but because I wanted to see the landscape, especially much talk about Mississippi and Alabama and New Orleans, those I want to see those places because those are slave bases. So I've gone in the, there is no comfortable seat in this train here. I'm sitting on a hard bench for complete 2 days. So I went in the restaurant, one little fat American picking, black picking, selling in this restaurant. So I went and said I want burger. So he noticed that I have this African accent, right? And he said, what? It was in the morning. We got all these retired Americans, old people, sitting and eating, having breakfast. So I said, I want burger. He said, what did you say? So I said, I want burger. Now my raw Liberian English, right? He said, you sound like African. I mean, right among the American people right there. I said, yes, I'm African. He said, oh, I hate Africans. I mean, I just can't imagine that this little boy look at me straight in the face and tells me, that I hate Africans. So I said, but why do you hate Africans? I mean, it was like a back and forth between here and that. He said, because you saw our parents as slaves. Oh. And the moment he said that, I would see the word ignorance boldly written in his face. That was my conclusion right there. That he was ignorant. He doesn't know what he's talking. You African, you saw our parents as slaves. So I turned around to him. I got mad at first, but then later on, suddenly, instantaneously, it happened. Something told me that this boy doesn't know what he's talking. So I asked, I said, have you been to school? He said, yes, I'm in college. I said, okay, good. I said, how much have you learned about the slave trade? He said, they teach us that our parents, you Africans, so our parents are slaves, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay. I said, you said I sound like African, right? I mean, I became calm. I said, you said I sound like African, right? So I'm sorry, do not listen to my accent because I don't speak American English, okay? But listen to the idea, the sense in what I'm trying to say. So listen very carefully and I'll talk slowly. He said, okay. I mean, I have gone to buy my burger to have my breakfast, and this little boy is engaging me like that. All the people, I mean, I would see these American people, some of the people are embarrassed. All American people who know something about history were embarrassed. I'm telling you, it was a scenario. It was a scene that the boy caused. So I tried to say, well, listen. Then I turned around and say, see, most of these older people, they are very older than you and I. And they should know something about the slave trade. I said, nobody should tell you that when the white men went to Africa, your grandparents were just grabbing people and selling them to them. No. These people, they wanted people to work on their plantations, and they couldn't take their own kind. So they had to go and force people who they felt were inferior to them. So I said, again, another thing I want to tell you, I'm buying this burger, right? He said, yeah. He said, so I tried to say, but you think after I pay for the burger with the soda, everything, I will throw it through the window after I pay my money for it? He said, no, that's okay. I said, why do you think I will not do it? He said, because you want it. You love it. I said, okay, very good. You made my point. So if these people actually spend money or they pay value for the slaves that you said our people sold, you think they would bundle them together? So I said, I want you to learn this part of the slave trade, that they bundled the people, they put chain on their necks, they were naked. Even if you got sick on board, the ship, they will throw you overseas. In fact, if the ship was overcrowded and they felt that they weigh too much, they will throw some of the people overseas alive. You think if they are paid valuables for them, they will treat them like that? It's I don't know, I'm not sure. That's okay. Then the last one I made, I said, okay, you know what? The reason why they will never teach you. I said, all the old people are there. Because I told, I said, ask people, ask them, some of them know more than you and I. So I said, the reason why they will not teach you the truth about the slave trade is that they are afraid of revenge. You will revenge against them for what they did to your foreparents. So they will not teach you that. So do not blame Africans for selling your people. They force you, they have guns in their hand. So then I got my item, I left. I went in my cabin. In the evening, I said that was still working on me. That this boy would get confront me like that in front of American people, the white people. And there was this Vietnamese guy on the train here, and I was sharing the same cabin. He was there. And he asked me, which African country you come from? I said, there's a country called Liberia. He said, yes, I heard about Liberia. There was a country. They said it was for black people, black slave, a Vietnamese who were baby when they adopted him from Vietnam during the Vietnam War. So he told me, he said, oh, you know, these white people, they will not teach us, even we Vietnamese, they will tell us different things about the Vietnamese war, and we have to read for ourselves. So in the evening, they was still playing on me. I went back to go buy something to eat again. And this time, I have planned that a will confront me again. I'll just get violent with him. So I went. And luckily for us, for he and I, the captain, there were not many people in the restaurant. Very few people. So after I ordered what I wanted, then our reporter returned. He said, brother, can I talk to you? I said, sure. He said, you know what? You told me something today that nobody, that even my mom and dad don't know about the slavery. I said, which part? He said, the point that you told me that the people, your Africans did not really sell us, but they were forced to do it. And that these people do not want to teach us the right thing because we'll revenge against them. I said, that's a fact. He said, no, I'm going to go home and tell my mom and dad and all my brothers what you told me. And I boy myself to get friendly. I was on the train for 3 days. When the train arrived in Florida, I went to him and said, well, guys, I'm leaving and I hope you learned something good. He said, brother, I really learned something good. He said, in fact, I called my mom and dad, we talk. So you see, what this man is saying, after enslaving us, the people came, they pacify us with religion. Okay? They pacify us. The white man got border for his country. He doesn't have border or any immigration officer posted at Heaven's Gate. But this white man will come and tell you that, yeah, believe, what will tell you, believe in one man who they change his future, Jesus that they told us to believe in, and we can go to heaven. Jesus was not a white man. If you look at where he was born in the Middle East. Middle Eastern people are not white people with blonde hair, with green eye. What I'm not preaching religion here, but they maneuver us. That what this man said in the video, misinformation, they miseducated us. So if you don't follow the trend, you always, you fall under what they say. Because they are smart, they are full of revenge. Again, like you be your son, and your son, you don't want your son to get mad at you, then you start pacifying him. You start telling him some sweet story. I'll buy candy for you. I'll do this. What he likes is what you tell him you buy for him. So you can pacify him. That's what they did to us. So they brought religion. They say, oh, yeah, believe that when you get your land, America, France, all the big countries in the world, you'll get border. Before we African we need visa. We make it even difficult for us to come. Okay? When we were slave for you, we couldn't sit down with you in your own house to eat. We were living in the slave quarter. Our food was different, your food was different. The clothes we wore were different, your own clothes were different. But you will tell us that we'll share the golden streets of heaven with you. So you come, you bring good news to us, say, okay, yeah, believe the mail that we brought to you, and then you'll go to heaven with us. But you before I come to your country that I can see that you get your immigration posted at, you can't open it free to me. But God's heaven that we all do know, nobody have been there and been back. You can promise us that we'll go there. But you believe what you tell us. You pacify us. That's what the man is trying to say. Miseducation campaign. Then the next thing they did, they didn't start there. After enslaving us, then they come and miseducate us and pacify us with religion. Then they come, it's okay. We're coming to loot their properties now. I'm telling you the reason why they say Africa is poor. And this video told you that America combined with China, all the countries, they all can go into Africa, the land size. So if we are this big, and we are not only big, but we got all the resources that the women need. I live in Norway, they ain't got nothing yet. They didn't get it, but can't see all that preachers, all middle iron. Okay? They got oil, and they discovered oil lately. That's not the oil we're living by here. When oil dry today, we finish. This country was one of the poorest countries ever before. But because they discover also they begin rich. If the oil dries out today, they'll go back and be poor. Thank God that the guy, in that sense, they're saving their money. Now, I was in school in Great Britain, in Southampton to be specific. Every time I went to London, when I'm in the underground, I see all the iron, the great metal. The whole of London is sitting on tunnel, right? They got underground, the tube, all under there. Okay? So they build real steel to keep those big buildings in London, to keep them up. I mean, solid steel underground. Why they got all these things? They don't have it in Great Britain. But like the video said, the people can take our bauxite, our iron ore, our diamond, our gold, and everything. 1 week ago, I was seeing a group of us were in Belgium, in Antwerp. They go the diamond capital of Europe, where all the diamond from anywhere in Africa coming for processing. Our own diamond, we can process it in our own country, but bring it to Europe. And that's how the people build our country. So the video is educating us. All these things is on Greater Africa, but it comes down to individual African countries. So when you see that there are coup d'etats taking place in West Africa, or it's been happening throughout Africa, but now the latest is happening in West Africa, and then those guys who are taking over in West Africa are saying to their colonial masters, no, time has come that we as a country make our decision as to what we want and what you can get from us and how you can get it at what price. I was surprised to know that France, all the colonies of France, the former colonies of France, they still pay some dues to them, buy their freedom from them. Long time until people were independent. So why are they giving you money for you colonizing them? They pay you for you colonizing them. And it goes like this. That's why we talk about the one-channel policy and the two-channel policy. So, and you can see the dynamics, what's happening now. So Africans, their video is telling us, wake up. You see, I'll speak to the American factor. We as Liberians, they say that America, they call it now, but they didn't want to follow us. So that we will be still a poor country. When I look at some pictures on the internet of America in 1930-something, 1940-something, they were like Liberia, they were like Monrovia. Great cities, I mean. They were like Monrovia. But in just 20, 30, 40 years, these cities, they develop. I normally go to Houston, right? That's where my family live. Every time I go to Houston, where I was 2 years ago when I go there again, the whole place had changed, developed, turned different. Are people making magic? I see the Mexicans working. They come and they work. The guys will build overhead bridge in just 2, 3, 4 days. The bridge is up and going to completion. Why I say that this thing cannot happen in Africa? But we always, and we got, our muscle, we got it. You can look at statistics that this man is reading out here. Indeed, we have those things. But why are we behind? Because it said that Africans, we are not thinking, or it said that we're too dependent. Look at them. People bring small money in a country, they fool you, your government go for it. Then, as we speak, our president was in Korea. I think maybe they're coming back now because I think the meeting is over. I don't think Korea got too much diamond like us. I don't think Korea got oil like us. Liberia now. Let me get limited to Liberia. Gold. The gold belt running from way somewhere, the upper part of the country, coming all the way down to Sierra Leone, coming down to Liberia, going down to the end of the continent, going to Congo, all the places. The gold belt in Africa. Diamond belt. We got it. But yeah, our African countries going to Korea. Korea that can barely survive in Asia. And we're going to pay for money. When we have things that can give us money, we're going to pay for it. And what we're going to do, they will give us chicken change. Then they will tell us, okay, we'll come into your country, give us so amount. When you know, I don't understand Wait, I'll go back to the video. The mail will tell you something again. I'll go back to the video. I will take it back more. Where was that? Okay, let me see if I can take it back a little bit.
How can any continent count prices?
Wait, I'll take it back. I'll take it back.
Your brain. Meaning, you can transplant China, Europe, and United States, and several other countries on the Africa continent, and they will fit neatly. Africa is 30.5 million square kilometers and a youthful population of 1.3 billion inhabitants. China is 9.6 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. India has a total space of 3.3 million square kilometers and 1.4 billion inhabitants. Now, yet, Africa is projected as overpopulated, and pressure mounts on Africans and their leaders to depopulate.
Okay, the reason why they put pressure on Africa, the statistic he gave, is to show that those countries, China, India, and all the countries, they are only populated than Africa, even though Africa is big. Okay, but those countries are only populated than Africa. Africa is big in land space, but then they will make you to believe. They will project Africa as the most populated country, only populated country. Then they will tell your leaders, you know what, you need to depopulate your country, and then they will bring something called family planning. If they know that family planning is not working, then they say, okay, you will take vaccine. Then you see mysterious death. No, somebody say we gotta talk it the way they are. They will bring some vaccine that when we're making a vaccine, you were not there, your representatives were not there, African representatives were not there on the medical board to approve what this vaccine contains. Then they will say, okay, this year we're launching a vaccination for all young babies. As your baby is born, they care in Africa, they'll bring it because that's what this is how we make ourselves to appear. That okay, we're depending on these people. So we think people like you that will make vaccine that they don't use in their own country, but will bring it to your country to save you. Ask yourself, African leaders, African as a whole, let's ask, no, when the stupid thing were going on the call Corona, I never told one vaccine. In fact, at my workplace, the brother knows saying, oh, everybody should take action. I say, no, I'm not. I call Corona, me and my entire family will call Corona. Okay, we were home for complete 2 weeks. We got better by ourselves. I told them I will not take vaccine. People who told 1, 2, vaccine 1, 2, and 3, they all say every day, see that nose running, oh my head, my this, I say, okay, yeah. See, so they will make you look. The thing about the slavery is that it still exists in this people, man. They'll make you to hate yourself. They'll make you to feel useless. They'll make you to undervalue yourself. So they say, okay, look at India. There is an app on the internet you can download. You can see live population statistics from every country going up and down. Every second. Go there. You see some of the most populated countries. China, India. You think why the Chinese go all over the place? They look for a place to put their people. Okay? Small island. The only populated. India. Okay? I've been to Asia. No. Philippines alone. The Philippines, they got the last time I checked that population 2 years ago, there were 111 million people. But right now, maybe they're going to 112, 113 million people. Okay. So Africa is not the most populated country, but they will tell you that you are only populated, so depopulate your people. Okay, you'll start burning planetary. They will bring something to sterilize your women. They get a tablet. They give vaccine to unborn children, the children in the man's stomach. Then they start giving them vaccine when you go low. The child will born. Maybe he born saying that didn't get sense. No. I have noticed something in recent time. There is something they call autism. It's overtaking Europe here. Half of the children born. You see, everywhere you go, you see them zombies. Okay? How? Because the thing about depopulation, say they will not lay you down and cut your throat. It will be inhumane. So before you are born, they make you stupid. When you can't all use, you're useless. You can't compete with them. Okay? You can't, especially foreigner children. If you're foreigner, you're living in a white man country, they control you. Everything. No, I'm not trying to incite people here, but this is just a fact. Okay? This is just a fact. People will not like it. And that's what we do. We Africans don't do. We do say the fact. In fact, you'll hear from it now. What he'll tell you. So let's go back to the video and hear from him.
Why? Why? Now, please note, Africa is home to 60% of the world's arable land, 90% of raw material reserve, 40% of gold reserve, 33% of diamond reserve, 95% of platinum reserve, and holds the largest bauxite reserves in the world. Of course, in addition to manganese, woods, uranium, crude oil, and others. Yet, the continent is touted as the poverty capital of the world and ripe for depopulation. The question is, why? Well, President Jacques Chirac of France provides an illuminating insight. He said, "We bled Africa for 4.5 centuries. We looted their raw materials. Then we told lies that the Africans are good for nothing. In the name of religion, we destroyed their culture. And after being made rich at their expense, we now steal their brains through miseducation and propaganda to prevent them from enacting black retribution against us." Unquote.
Okay. You heard him quote former French President Jacques Chirac. Former French President Jacques Chirac. The quote here says, "We held Africa for 4.5 centuries." You know, every 100 years is a century. So 4.5 centuries, that's 450 years. No human being can live for 450 years. But in 450 years, they held Africa as slaves, or Africans as slaves, for making that every 100 years you have at least 3 generations of people. So 3 generations of people times 4, that's about 120 generations of people. And then after they held Africans as slaves for 4.5 centuries, they looted the raw materials of Africa. Our gold, our diamond. Okay, Pataki, you want to call? I'm going to put the number on the screen. Then maybe you can call, or I can call the number. I can repeat the number, and then you can call it. You can call. So the number is it's a WhatsApp number. So call this number. It's rolling on your screen. +4799450882. That's +4799 +47 is the country code. Then 994508882. Once again, +4799450882. So that's the number to call. Now, let's go back to our discussion. Like Jacques Chirac said here, he said they looted our raw material after holding us for 4.5 decades, or centuries. Then they looted our diamonds in that interim, our gold, our oil, just about everything, every raw material, iron ore, anything you think about. They didn't stop there. Then they made us to believe that we are good for nothing. And how did they do that? Through the slavery. You look at your man on your own, you're having your family, you're living. Then all of a sudden you find yourself working for your friend man, you cleaning your friend man's house, you can't even, they decide what you and your family. In fact, you're not even with your family. So you think you are good for nothing. Then in the name of religion, they destroy all of the culture that Africa has. there are certain things I do agree with easily, but you know, Africans will have our culture. And one of our culture is that we respect older people. We believe that we'll get old, and so we respect older people. These people, they don't respect our older people. They take them and dump them in the old people home. Our old people, we sit down with them when they get old. We sit down, they give us wisdom at home. We take care of them until they die. These people don't do it. They'll dump them in the old people home. So some of the old people will die in history. Okay? I'll not tell you that story. I'll leave that one. Okay, so they see white men, they say polygamy not good. Our African people will marry several wives. They say, oh no, it's not good. But the white man will tell woman to man, it will tell man to woman. Or it will make two men to sleep with each other, then two women sleep with each other. That way good. They say that's your choice. For African men, you're not supposed to marry several wives. No, it's bad. They change your culture. And so he said, they did all of these things. Then through religion, they came to convince us because they were afraid of what? Retribution against them. Retribution means revenge. That one day people are open. When people are open, they will revenge against us. So let's carry religion to fool them. To tell them, okay, believe in God, believe in Jesus, and then you'll go to heaven. I'm a Christian, right? I know. But where to take France? Before you go to France, you need visa. If you're black man, they will make it difficult for you. Before you go to America, that's people colonize you. When we're coming to Africa to colonize us, we ain't get a visa, we ain't get nothing. The king, they say they discover us. When you listen to, they say Stanley Livingstone or something like that went to Africa to discover Lake Victoria. Why the hell you have an African waterfall, then you call it Victoria Fall? Why it can't be some kind of Muanga Fall or some kind of East African name fall, but it will be Queen Victoria Fall? Eh? Because they say Stanley Livingstone or something like that, somebody went there to go discover it. How you discover something? To discover something that you create, something you make to come to existence. Okay? But something out there already, people know it there, you go there and say discover it. How you discover it? Tell me, what is the name? What is the definition of discovery? So they fool you. They miseducate you. And then we fall for it. We take all the American name, Victoria Fall, and you go to most African countries, you see Johnson Street, Peter Street, this and that. Instead of saying Paulo Street or Flomo Street in Liberia, we get Johnson Street, we got Madonna Street, we got Gurley Street, we got all these stupid street. Change the thing their name to Flomo Street, Paulo Street, Besonga Street, you know. Oh, they forced us, and we went for it. So, Pataki, if you stay there, the number is on the screen. If you want to call to make your contribution, we're talking about why Africa, as the largest continent on earth, where all these continents, America, all of them can go in, we are still poor, and we got the largest amount of resources on earth, we are still poor. Let's go back to our video. We'll be cutting the video, short and talking. I'm here alone tonight, so I'll do this. Let's go to the video.
Well, put simply, for over 4 centuries, Africa is not in control of its resources. Look, a 2016 study of Africa by the NGO called War on Want reveals that 101 companies, mostly British, control $305 billion worth of plastic.
Do you remember that this guy told you in this video right now, just 1 second ago, that for over 4 centuries, Africa has not been in control of its resources, and even the land, we are not in control, that these people will come and devour Africa. There was no damn Guinea, Liberia, this and that. It was Africa. But this working a portion A, a portion, they divided A. And then they give it funny names to suit their power of control. And he's telling you that as we speak, just a recent survey showed that 101 companies, and those companies are mostly British companies, control about $305 billion worth of platinum in Africa. All over Africa. You know, 1 billion is enough for any African country to survive if it is properly managed to develop. Then you got $305 billion. No, the platinum. So what if we even told us, okay, the $305 billion gave us $205 billion for it, and and you say to develop the country that you've taken these platinums from. Okay? But we don't do it. They own it. Why we sitting on it? If for us, we say it for us, but they own it. And yeah, you got the bag of resting in your house, but different person got to come and cook it and give you one plate for you to eat. And that's why Africa has been. Okay? So let's go.
Platinum. $276 billion worth of oil and $216 billion worth of coal at 2016 market prices. Yes, they own mines or mineral licenses in 37 African countries.
Can you imagine? These figures are mind-blowing. I don't know. I'm still confused. I'm still really confused. Welcome, Steve. I'm really confused. Look, Africa, there is something inherently wrong with us. It said the mass education campaign that these people launched that is affecting us today, that even the younger generation, in fact, it's even worse with the younger generation. Look, these people, they make you to hate yourself, to hate your kind. I'm noticing, you will see African child born here, when they see you, they don't know you. They see black men. They see black men. They highlight because they're working with white children. They highlight, they don't know you. They know you. They know your parent. I mean, their parent know you. Are friend with that. But when they see you, they what they show their face on the other side, walking fast all the time, so their friend they can know that they know you. Can you imagine? So tell me, how did children grow? And I normally go back and forth with some of them that are grown. They were young when the white people took them. They live with them. They are grown up men and women now, and they still they are being brainwashed. So they feel that the white man system is the best. African, you are just nothing. And they see that color, and the white men, I don't know about other white people control, but in Norway where I live, there is this law. It's almost written that you, as a foreigner or a color person, you and a Norwegian are not equal on any level. You can never be like them. No way. You can have one Norwegian parent. You will never be still part of them at that level. So this is built in their mind. They tell their children in the homes. Okay, I live in a society. I've done anything you think about in this country. We've entered the deeper part of society, and you know how that works. We've entered, and we know the secret. I work in the government. I'm in political party. We know all these things. It's deeply rooted. So the mass information campaign and the brainwashing goes on. So the children that are born in this country, you think they will value Africans? No, they don't, because that's what they tell them. Your people are nothing. So these figures are very mind-boggling, that you got all these things happening. Just one country, Great Britain alone, have 101 companies that are controlling the platinum industry in Africa. And then they control vast majority of Africa's land, 4 times as the size of the United Kingdom. Let me play the video.
And control vast swath of Africa's land, 4 times the size of the United Kingdom. Now look, Africa subsidizes the rest of the world by $32 billion annually. A 2017 report by Global Justice Now and other groups estimates that $161.6 billion enter into Africa, while $202.9 billion leave Africa almost every year. For example,
you see that? That is half of what they bring in. Then they take double out. It's like I gave you $1, then I take $3 from you. So ask yourself, what am I left with? What are you left with? Huh? I come to you and say, no, listen. You got. Wait, let me think about a good example. Okay, you got 2 cows. I'll give you $1 for each cow. You give me and I know the market price of that cow is like $10. So you give me 1 cow for $1, and I go and sell it for $10. How much am I getting? I'm getting triple, 99%. So they bring $116 billion, $161 billion into Africa. Then they walk away with what? Also amount. They walk away with $260 something billion for that $100 billion, bro. Let's go back to the video. You hearing it for yourself. And there's a purpose why I'm playing this video, and we'll go to that purpose.
In 2017, Africa received a total of $19.7 billion in aid. They paid back $18 billion in debt repayments. Debt burden is killing Africa. African governments have borrowed between 25 and 75% of their GDP, but with little or nothing to show for it.
He nailed the hammer on the head, on the head of the nail. The thing that's suffering us are the debt. You know, those of us that live in the West, you know the reason why, including me, some of us don't travel back home easily. You come to the West, they open up to you. I don't know how it works in the US, but in America, I mean, in Norway, you see that they have information on everybody through your social security number. Your name is that important. So they got a group. They sit down, they check your credit rating. They find out that you got very good credit. Then you not owe anybody nothing. Then they start to send in credit cards. I mean, every week you see different credit cards, 4, 5, 6 coming a week with huge amount, tempting. Okay, free money in your mind. Free money they give you, you take it. All of a sudden, you working, you can take your pay, you get money. But the credit cards come with huge amounts. Some of them got like $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 only. And then all of a sudden, your people call from Africa. At the time, maybe you don't have cash available. Oh, you know, the other person say, he said, okay, I got a credit card. I can send $400-500. And that is minus your from your account. So you use that credit card, and then all of a sudden, problems continue to come. You got to pay your bills, and then you start to use that credit card. You got to pay. You get indebted. That's what they do to African countries. We run into them every day, even though we got a raw material that we're supposed to sell to them at valuable price or prices to get money from them, but we let them come take it from us. Then we run to them. As we speak, our president was in Korea. I'm driving to the point that the reason why I'm playing this video. Our president was in Korea, and everybody that run out waiting, oh, what they bringing back? Then all of a sudden we hear they say our president will bring. I'm not saying that's why it's happening. We hear say the president bringing 10 million. Oh, you see people dancing, especially people who are in the government will be dancing. Yeah, achievement. You think the boy are getting free money? My friend, there is nothing free. Even heaven, God who made us. God said before you go to heaven, you got to trust, you got to believe in, you got to praise him. So it's not free to go to heaven. Nothing free on earth. There is nothing that is free. Totally, there is nothing free. So our African government, the next thing, by the time any government comes to power, they're not thinking about development, they're not thinking about strategizing how our natural resources can be used to benefit us, but they're running for debt. They're running for free money in their mind. Free money, oh man, I gotta make my people feel good so they can elect me, so they can elect me for the next term. So I'm going to look for some kind of money to come and say the government has achieved. That bullshit, a lie. And this is where African countries fall flat on their stomach because we are not strategizing how to get the profits from our resources. You know, God, sometimes I ask myself, and this could be deeply rooted, right? God is very sensible. God gave African all the first thing we got to advantage that we do know of is the weather. The weather is very important for us. But we take it for fun. We got equal, especially those of us in sub-Saharan countries. We got equal amount of rainfall and equal amount of sunshine, which balances the ecosystem. That is our advantage. This stupid country, right now, we in the summer, right? Is go outside. It's 11 o'clock almost. Okay, 10:25 here. Go outside. The sun stays shining. You see the sun shining. The opposite is in the winter. In the winter, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's totally dark. Nothing, and nothing can grow here. Nothing. But Africa, we got balanced. The 24 hours is balanced. 12 hours sunshine, 12 hours of night. When rain comes, equal number of rain and equal number of sun. So everything is balanced for us. We all okay. Then the next thing is God bless us with natural resources that you cannot find, some of which you cannot find anywhere in the world. So God gave us all of these things for us to suffer. So now I try to ask myself, I try to avoid again when you talk, they say, oh no, you can't ask that kind of question. You Christian, you. So God made us stupid. He gave us all the things He made us stupid. We get a sense to use it. Then the people who didn't get it, He gave them a sense to use it. Or He said to balance the trade. That okay, African, you will have all these things, but I will not give you a sense how to use it. So the people who didn't get it, I'll give them a sense how to use it. So they can kind of get it from you. Then you'll live from peanuts. So is God being unfair to us? And then I hate to ask the kind of questions, but again, I get tempted to ask. Why He said that we got all these things, but then we are poor. The people who didn't get it, they rich. They can get. Then we go to them beg. Then they can't take it from us free. It's just like you get bag around your house. You get pot, you get fire, coal, you get water, you get meat, but you hungry, you die with hunger. So somebody will kind of open your own bag of rice and cook it and give you some in the plate. That's what Africa does. As we speak, our leader, our presidents, African president, were in Korea, and I will read you some figures later on in the program, right? So everybody going to a small little no entity, small country compared to Africa, small Korea, small island country. They go in there to go back. Yeah, there you go. What do we do? Why You gave us all the riches, then we become poor. Then we don't know how to use it. Then we begging. Why, God? Why can't you just take it from us? Because we don't deserve it. Just take it from us. Give it to them. Then so we'll be begging them. What do we do? Where do we go wrong? Is it our fault? Or what's going on? No, tonight I'm out of my shell, to be frank. So let's go back to the video and listen to this gentleman. I love this video. I saved it already. And I will listen to it anytime I want to. When I get frustrated, I'll listen to it privately.
Africans in the diasporas remit not less than $32 billion annually, but multinational companies siphon $32.4 billion in profits and illicit financial outflows.
You see, we in the diaspora, we give all the money to Africa. But these private companies that come from Europe, America, and all of it, they get all the money out. Let me go to Lebanon. Look at the Lebanese. Why the Lebanese can't go to Lebanon? They've been in Liberia walking. They were there. They've been there. They want to be citizen. You black men go to Liberia, go to Lebanon. How and see how difficult it will be for you. But look at the Lebanese. They rather die when we have war. They rather die in Liberia because they getting that US dollar. That's why Liberia with the US currency and the Liberian currency that they're from. They get the money. They siphon the money. Yeah, they send it. They send it every time. Or Paul, the only guy who can you see selling one, the only guy store. The next day, he got his own store. Why do the Liberian men that are on the ground all the time? You were born there, your grandparents, everything. You know, I look at in Norwegian sometimes. They try to look down on foreigners. Oh, you know. So I think I said, oh, you don't own anything. Your whole life are dead. The car you're driving, you took your credit. The hall you living, you still paying for it. If you see African men driving car in Africa, it's for him. You see African men living in one room, the same house, it's for him. Because we don't have that facility that he got here to go take credit. So we struggle. Okay? And some of them, they poor. So I tell them, I said, but you are born here. Your parents, your great, you are born, your home day. So if you poor, then why you think you talk about all of people who come in, if you talk about our poverty? We got nothing here. Where you see all we get here is what we work for. Go to Africa, go to our home, we get in there. Okay, the same way you're from here, you should have things. But that's different issue. So they may say that all the money that diaspora Africans send to Africa every year, they siphon it. The foreign countries, the small companies, the people that are operating there, like in Liberia, they get that money, they maneuver something that way, they go back to them, they take it from the country, they carry it, so they will remain broke. Let's go back to the video. The video made my day for tonight.
Look, an estimated $29 billion are stolen via illegal logging, fishing, and poaching annually.
You heard that figure? The people who can take our fish from our international waters. You got, as you speak, if you're in the maritime world, you know that our international waters should be 250 nautical miles offshore. That's what for us. Okay? But you can see some of the fishing boat patrolling around the Freeport of Monroe, around the coast. You can see it visibly. 250 nautical miles at long distance. You're not supposed to see that distance with your naked eye. 250 nautical miles. That's a long distance. But we can see that the boats will come inside our nautical mile, our private water to fishing. Okay? Because most of the fish that we eat, like the bony and other things, they don't live in the house, they come on the shore. Because on the shore is where they find food to eat. They come closer to the shore. So all this thing is illegal. They come fishing illegally and carry the proceeds. Some of the best crawfish you can see is in the Atlantic and around our coastal area, the West African belt. Some of the best tunas, the gruntos, you can find it in our water. But are we benefiting from it? Ask yourself. Then our minerals, you got something. The Turkish people who supposed to be here because that's what they do. They run these stores, what we call African shops, where they sell food. Some of them they running the pizza places and shawarma. That's what they do here in Europe. Then you got a few of them who got small money or credit from the bank. They call themselves M&T Go. They operating in my own district in Pont County. Then you got some of them in B Mountain and all over the place. The Turkish guy that's to be standing behind the counter selling African food here. Then the country library they getting rich. Helicopter will kind of take a go and a demo and carry it. Why are you librarians? You there when you thought they deploy soldier and beat you? Recently we saw what happened at B Mountain in King John. Can you imagine? Ask yourself, why? Our leaders are not thinking. As we thought, they went to Korea. They banned all the place. They went to some meeting in America. They came back. Then they went to Korea again. So I know what they will bring the next place. Then they got one country called what was the country? Hey man, what the Balkan country that I went to Liberia recently? I was thinking about the name. That even me, if you tell me you can't go live, because I've been there, I've been to Serbia, I've been to Bosnia, I've been around there, I know. Then you got that our president meeting with that kind of people that can offer nothing, they got nothing. Go there literally, no. We were in Serbia, like Bromberg got married, they were there. I was there in Serbia for complete 1 week. We bought whole nightclub, we pay for everything. We like brother left from there to go there for that wedding. The night of the bachelor eve, Friday evening, tomorrow, Saturday, the wedding. We bought a whole club. We pay cash down, our contribution, cash down, to the point where the club not ask us, where you guys coming from? Black people will pay cash down, and we became popular in that city for complete 1 week. We're there. I went to a Chinese restaurant, and the guy asked me, why are you so many here? I said, no, we can't. And he said, yeah, but we'll be making good business because your people coming here eating. There is a Chinese store there called Panda. We forced that store to open on that Sunday. We all returning. We forced that store to open. The Chinese man came from Hui King, opened the store for us to buy. So that's how poor those countries are. I'm just telling you. Yeah? But that's the country there our people go to. A country like that, when they come into your place, you know where they're coming for? They're coming for what you got. So our negotiating skills, very limited, very low, very almost non-existent. So when we go sit down before these people, we mortgage our things for little or nothing. Now, the Koreans will be the next group. The Chinese are already in Liberia. Now, our internal affairs minister just recommitted Liberia to the one-China policy. Okay, so the Koreans will be the next. The Russians are already making their way and stuff like that. So then you just listen to the video. We take too much debt. We indebt ourselves too much, African countries. Oh, yeah, Liberia, yeah, we got Wologisi Mountain, right? Then we got Putu Mountain. So let's take money. You're not thinking about your future generation. Okay, those things can be depleted. Or they can have no more value. Let's go back to the video, man. My time going.
How can any continent, country, or people accumulate and sustain wealth, growth, and prosperity with such statistics? That's a great question. Well, look, hopefully, now you know your Africa better. Edmund Mbiaka once wrote, "Peace of mind always comes with knowing who you truly are, where you currently stand, where you positively need to be, and strongly believing in its possibility."
Okay, there's a statistic that I want us to look at. But first, let me just re-emphasize what he said. You must know yourself. It's like you start school. You say, okay, I'm going to school. When I finish, when we were small, we used to say, when I finish school, I'll do this, I'll do that. At least make your plan. Know yourself, who you are, and work towards your plan. Know where you are right now at the moment, and know where you want to be in the next 10 minutes. I attended several job interviews, and one of the questions that I still remember that they normally ask is, where do you want to be if you are employing this company? Where do you want to be in the next, or where do you want to see yourself in the next 2, 3, 4 years if you work with this company? And the reason why they ask that question is because they want to know your mindset about growth. So if you are employer, will you just want to be, let's say they make you offer boy, you want to be offer boy all the time? How do you intend to grow in this company and then to contribute? That's knowing yourself, knowing where you want to be, knowing where you are now, knowing what you want to do to achieve, to reach to where you want to be. That's why the interviewer, and that's when they ask that question. Sometimes when they ask you, some people will say, oh, I just want to be here because I'll do my work. So in the interviewer's mind, oh, he just want to be where he is to do his work. The other people be thinking for him. It's very important. So we get some statistics here. They say this one, it says tag of war, natural resources. Africa has 60% arable land, meaning land that you can plant on, that can grow, that things can grow on. Then 90% raw material reserve. Can you imagine? Then 40% gold reserve, 33% of diamond reserve, 95% of platinum reserve. Africa has manganese, manganese, iron, wood, uranium, copper, crude oil, etc. Can you imagine? And you don't hear about these things in some countries or some continents. But Africa, we got these things everywhere. So how in the world will have these things, then instead be going to borrow money from people that do not have the thing that the money that this thing are produced? I get sick. Let's go to the video. Let's end up so we can close up from here.
Africa needs to control its resources, no doubt. For productive, patriotic, and effective leadership, we need our best and ablest citizens with fortified character in local, state, and federal governments. This must be given utmost consideration in upcoming elections across Africa. Let me say it once more. Our problem is not the age of our leaders, but unfortified character. It is your responsibility to protect and defend your Africa. The starting point is to educate and transform the mindset of our leaders. And
the most important point is not how old a leader is, how many years experience he got in government, how young he is, how much degrees he got, but the mind, the way to think, you got to transform. Graduate from this slavery mentality that all this dependence, and those are all part of slavery, the effect of slavery, okay? Those are all part of the effect of slavery and misinformation, miseducation, that you will depend on somebody all the time. Even if you know you can make it for yourself, you can do it for yourself, you will decide to be dependent. Oh, I get sick most of the time when anything happens like, bro, hell, the international community? What the hell is international community? Who the hell are you? Don't you know that you are part of the international community as well? How many times other people come to call on you to go solve that problem? When you and your wife making flour, you go call international community. When you in fact know that the word international calls all of us as part of the global community. As long as our country existing in this world, on this earth, you are part of the international community. But small thing happen, you go into the other international community. Are you not men enough? How many times do people call on you Liberians to go solve that problem? How many times see America coming to you, and Europe coming to you, Asia coming to you, but you the only person who can go to the international community? We got to change the mindset of our leaders. Leadership is not your age, is not how much book you know, how good you are, but it's your mindset. You see, we always feel that the women don't play. Thank you very much, Steve. See, yeah, when you do know the value of what you have, you're giving up for anything. Because it seems as though we don't know the value of what we have. I mean, we got these things. Then we hey man, I don't understand. You go beg somebody, we even get it. And what is money? Ask yourself. Let anybody answer this question for me. What is money? There is nothing called money. That people, because if there was something called money, the people get a machine that can print the money, they will be the richest. But they're working for pay. The people who get a machine who can print the money, they're working for pay. So the value of what money can buy is what's important. And what is that value that money can buy? It's what we have. The iron ore, the gold, the diamond, the platinum, the uranium, the oil, every damn thing that Africa got, that the world wants, that the rest of the people want, is what worth. Not that paper they care or the figure. So we abandon what we have, the valuables that we have, then we go for the figure. Somebody just write one big figure, say, oh, Liberia, you can go get 10 million. Or 10 billion, then you start running. You go for 10 billion. Ask yourself, if they make any 10 billion yet, then why he want the thing? Why he wants the thing, the thing that I have? So that 10 billion means nothing. That's just a figure, that's just a name. They fool you with it. Then you take your value and give it to them. So now they get, can you imagine the stock value or the gold value of Great Britain? Gold bars. No, something is wrong. The one asked God, what would they to you? Is it our fault, or is it you who just decided we should be like this for Africa? Because I don't understand. No, I was in conversation with one Norwegian guy, and the guy asked me, he said, "But why is it that African people will always suffer when you have what the rest of the world want?" I said, "My brother, a good question you asked." But suddenly he said, "I didn't agree on him." Or, yeah, because you people, you're believing God, so your thing, God can't help you. God will not help you. God will not come from God. Finish helping you already, so you need to help yourself. I disagree with him, though, but that's a fact. That like Bremer will sit down here, hey God, a prayer. No, listen, a prayer could just do everything for you. You will not have the pastor and people because they pray. You gotta go to the pastor to pray for you so you can succeed. That pastor is poor, even poorer. In fact, you ask for money before he pray for you. He said, bring money, don't go buy holy water and thing. No damn prayer will change you. You gotta work. God has given you the mind, the hands, the body, the every damn thing that you need to succeed. Then you say that you say you go pray. What you pray to? Eh? The same God you pray to, he are giving you everything. So what you pray for again? Oh, you should come and dump and cook your food for you to eat, eh? To the point where you get food, you hungry. You say, I pray. And I see Africans, especially Liberians, they don't believe in the thing so much. They pray thing. No, God is with you everywhere. You gotta go to one church to go pray. The first thing you wake up in the morning, just tell God, thank you for making me to see this day. Simple, that's enough. That's all God wants. No, recognizing, thank you, God, you are the God. See, you go pray for it fast. Nonsense. I don't do that. I don't. Let me tell you, I'm not trying to be condescending on religion or whatever, but we dramatize this religion so much. We dramatize it, we make it look, in fact, long time ago, you Africans, did you know that there was God? You were praying to all kind of things. Okay, and you were still alive. Somebody can tell you, say, okay, pray to the other one, and then you go to heaven. But that man close a portal in front of you before you go there, you need visa. And they should open again. Saying they want us to people then, open all your portal, you're walking it out. God's kingdom that you don't get key for, you know, being there to come back. But you tell me, say, today, you go there. Simple knowledge, misinformation campaign. Okay, let's continue the video.
Peoples. Look, the least you can do is to assist with ensuring that this message reaches every African.
Okay, I think the Africans will get it. We'll continue to knock on your door. We'll continue to educate you. Those of you who got ears, the Bible says, he who has ears will hear. If you don't get ear, my friend, they can beat drum near you, you will not hear the sound. Lightning can fire near you, you will not hear the sound. But if you have ear, you will hear from a distance. You hear a distant thunder. So, to conclude this evening, African leaders, you got to change your mindset. This mind, the whole somebody in one other country somewhere will help you to develop. That nonsense. We'll go to America, we'll get money, we'll come build our country. That nonsense. Oh, we're going to Korea. South Korea is calling all. Russia calling all. Let's go. How many times you see Russia come to you African and say, we come here to beg? They will bring small figure and write it on paper. We'll give 2 million, 2 billion. Give us this. No, that's like that figure. They may get the money. Okay, if money is important, why are you taking that money to come buy something? You already get the money, and that money we're looking for, right? We're supposed to be looking for money, right? So the man already got that money. So why you can't just sit down and get forget it for your hand? Money is nothing. That's just a figure they need. So You sit down, they come and take your resources and say, we'll give you so amount, and you accept it. Then asking money, they will follow it and can't take it from you. Then you sit down with your empty hand. You finish giving them all your valuables. Let's still say, if you don't know the value of what you have, you'll give it up for anything. People get the trillions. Why are they taking that money to come to power? What you get? That's a value. So you should keep that value and trade on par. Somebody say you should. In fact, you should be the one to set the price for the commodity that you have. But you let the people come and tell you we can give you this, then you give all this. No, I don't see a group of people where you're making business, somebody come tell you, say, okay, the thing you get, I want to pay so for you. Instead of you telling them, no, you pay this amount, they will tell you, yeah, we pay this amount, and you agree. Only Africa. Sorry, I'm under the weather. Only Africa, this happens. Where the people will come with that figure, and like I said, there's not like money. Forget that paper, forget that cash, that coin. Because if money was valuable, money get value. What you have is what value. Money get no value. Ask yourself, you get house full of money. Why you take it to go buy bread? Why you can't eat the money? Because the money not value. What you're going to buy is what's value. So if you have what somebody wants, the man who get money wants, then you are the person. Not the man who get money. Why the man takes money to go buy bread? Money that everybody, people can even kill each other for money. Then somebody take it and can buy the bread that you molded from flour. Then somebody can buy king juice that you made from sugar cane. Because that money get value. What you're selling is what has value. That's why the man taking money to bring it. So African country, you got all the valuable things that the entire world wants. But you take it and dump it on them free, then they give you figure. And that figure you won't live back. But the worst of all is that corruption. You take the whole country resources and give it to somebody for little or nothing. Then the little peanuts that they will give you, you also take it and misuse it. Take it and put in your private account while the rest of the country suffer. That's why the video, the last one you gave, leadership is not about your age. You can be 1 year old today. If you're a good leader, you can be 100 years old. If you're a good leader, you'll be. But if you are not a good leader, you will never be. No matter how old you are or how young you are, how educated you are. So we got to change our mindset. Well, Rusty, anybody who wants to be a good leader in Africa to open the eyes of the people, oh man, you are the bad guy for the West. And the reason is simple. No, few things the West can do, and they are very good at that. They misinform you. They miseducate you. Number two, they make you to hate yourself, that you are not anybody. You are not, you don't worth. They make you to hate each other. They create confusion, because in the midst of confusion amongst you and your people, they'll be able to easily infiltrate. And if you want to be one good guy, one strong guy for your people, and you want to withstand them, oh man, they'll create that condition where your people will turn against you. No, study the history of most of the African leaders that die at the hands of their own people through coup d'etat or war or all the kind of thing. There were people who wanted to fight for that. That's why when I see the young boys, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, I know I'm worried. I'm worried for them. And my worry is genuine, based on past history that we read about people like Patrice Lumumba. No, when I was in Belgium 1 week ago, and so they kept every time I go in the street, I was reading the names of the street. I'll try to find out. I'll see Patrice Lumumba Street, but you don't find no kind of street. In fact, where I put my Airbnb, it was called Jesus Strat. Jesus slapped me on Jesus Street, and they got a picture of Jesus. I was looking for the street through. I was driving there through. Trying to find it was difficult to find it. Then I decided to park the car again and walk. And I asked one black thing. I went. The first thing I saw, Jesus picture hanging there, and just on Short Street. Then I was laughing. And the reason I'm laughing is that Street or Patrice Lumumba Street, or you will not see Jean Peter Bokassa Street. You will not see what the other dictator in the one that used to wear the leopard skin. But go to Africa, you see Victoria Fall, you see Johnson Street, you see Gurley Street, you see all the streets in the name of white men. But you will not see Yabalo Street, you will not see Buiga Street, you will not see Say Street, you will not see Wea Street, none. Our mindset, the people wash our brain negatively, hate yourself, feel that you are nobody. And like I said before, you see, most of us people, Africans, when they live in Europe, they rather have European friends, white friends, than black friends. You talk to them, our black people. When did you know that? When you came to Europe, they know that black people not good, Liberian people not good. And you Liberian. But when it comes to Europe, the Liberian community, instead of fixing our own problem, who told you that the white people don't like each other? That's one thing I know. Imagine the people living as neighbors, they do say hi to each other. And so that when they do it to all, then you think they hate you. That's a culture. In other Africa, you can stay to your home and talk to somebody 1 kilometer away. No. Eh? But when we come, we want to adapt their style. A lot of people, they like people, they like this. Well, why may you think you want to be? I don't know about the other white people, but my own white people are guys. People, the moment you live in somewhere, you black man, they will take telephone and call each other. One black man move you. They know you walk in the scene and looking at you. They will not talk to you, nothing. But you're going to program, let them get drunk. Hey man, how many get drunk? They'll tell everything about you that you are saying no. How do they know? Because they cast it about you. They know everything about you. And don't make mistake, tell anything about you. They will tell everybody that they know. Let me close on the joke here. My mechanic, long time ago, from 2002, I bought my first car in this country. So I carry one mechanic I've been dealing with all the time. He's about 30, 40 minutes away from me. But anytime my car gets problem, I go to him. He's a very good friend. The guy will fix my car. I remember one time I pay him. He fixed my car, I pay him cash. So he sent a mechanic boy to go. I don't know why he's saying. Then I saw the guy, he brought plenty of carton of beer. Then he said, take 2 cartons. 2 parts. I said, why? Anything. I said, why? He said, the money you give me, general, I want. I said, boy, why, boy? He said, well, no, I need the money, so I'll drink it. I said, so the guy can fix my car, so I really think, I know, 2002 all the way until I say, oh, some money. As we speak, my other car sending it, so will be repairing something. So he's my friend. And this guy had pigs. He was racing pigs. So I went to him. Then he said, let's go behind your house. He said, come go see my pigs. I went, there was 7 pigs, small pigs with a mom. 8 altogether. Then he said, I'm racing there. I said, okay. So I said, but when they get people, what you do? He said, I'll kill them and sell them. I said, okay. I said, but when you kill them, I want the legs. He said, how about the head? I said, no, I don't want the head. I only want the leg. I went to move here. It passed several months, almost a year plus. The guy had killed those pigs. He took the pig plastic there, 8 pigs altogether with 4 legs each. So 8 times 4, I think should be let me get my multiplication right. 8 times 5, 40. plus 12, 52 pieces. He packaged it in a plastic fan. He put it in a fridge. I mean, almost a year spent. I didn't go there. So one time I came the car because every 2 years we gotta do that EU control. So I went there. Probably I want to do EU control. Something was wrong with my car. I went there. After he got to facing the car, then he said, no, I left the car there. Then he said, okay, but how you go home? I said, I'll take it. But he said, no, I have something for you. So I'll give you my spare car you can carry. Then when I finish, I'll call you. I said, okay. So, but I don't know what he got for me. He said, come. So, no, he garage under a horse. He got 2-story building. So the garage under a horse. He said, let's go. So we went through the garage, we cleaned up. Then when you open the fridge, he brought a big plastic bag, black plastic bag. And it was heavy. I know my man running to it. So I took it. I said, what inside? He said, don't open it yet until you go home. So I said, what inside? So I'll kill you. I said, no, I'll open it. So I punched a hole in there with my finger and I opened it. I saw the piece. I said, oh, yeah, thank you. And right now, seeing around like people, they say, I said, they have just come. They came around 2004. So I think we were doing this thing around 2006, or more, 2005, around there. So I carried a P4 to the old man. We got a whole family that came for resettlement. So I said, I brought a P4 to the old man. I said, oh man, I'll be cooking our palm all year. So the guy, say he gave me the P4, he told all his friends. I just tell you about how they put and how they can cast it. He told all his friends. So no friend I think they told that children, I'll play football actively. We have about 5 Liberian boys that were playing football around here. I don't say young man. We were playing for the country. So we went on practice ground. Then when I begin, you look at me for long, start laughing. I said, what happened? He said, you can P4. I said, no. But my mom didn't run there. So I think 2 days after, I went to the gas station to fill. Then I saw one groom man, one of our friends too. Then he looked at me and said, the P4 suite. I said, wait, something wrong. So I read to the guy. I said, why you told everybody I can eat P4? He said, no, sorry. So you see, I'm just telling you how the people can consider all and how they can cast it. So they don't even like you. So do not think that they will bless you, they will pay your country. We got to pay our own country by ourselves. And on that note, I hope Liberians will take through. And talking about going to think that other people, we're getting some report that, some countries receive certain amount that we cannot independently confirm, and Liberia did not receive anything. So we hope that, again, our saviors that we're going to will give us something. And that report, like I said, we can independently confirm it, but we can deny it. But the reason why these African countries went to that summit in Korea is for them to get some things. But again, Liberia, we hope Liberia will get our share of the pie. That's what we usually go for. So we hope that Liberia will benefit something from that. Let me see. The information, like I said, we can independently confirm or deny it. The South Korea update, Tanzania walk away with 2.5 billion. It's a huge amount of money for Tanzania, and they want to pay by it, not free. So Tanzania gets into debt, another debt, $2.5 billion. Then Ethiopia walks away with $1 billion. Poor country, Ethiopia, they got no mineral. Then we come to Kenya. Kenya has walked away with $485 million. For Liberia, and they say Liberia get anything here. So we hope we get something. But the joke here is that Liberia will eat some sushi, that Korean food, right? But we hope Liberia will get something. Let's get into more debt. And this is how we think we can build our country or our continent. On this note, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. This is the Bottom Line Liberia. My name is Linford Goa. And tonight we've been here trying to provide for you some information. Unfortunately, I was on the show alone, and it's all because of my colleagues have been busy. But again, we'll be back here on Tuesday with a fresh edition of the program. My name is Linford Goa once again. Thanks for watching and have a good night.